What's happening, my blocked buddies? This is Blocked Content, and I thought it would be nice to talk about Paper Mario Color Splash in a positive light. I know a lot of you guys are, kind of split between, is this a good game? Is this a really, really bad game? Is this game bringing everything that we love, or is it kind of, further cementing that the Paper Mario franchise is dead? I wanted to kind of touch upon that because I have some words of my own about this. I've been doing a lot of, talking about the trailers, talking about different gameplay things that come around, and you guys have been enjoying all of the information coming in so much, and I've loved giving my take on every single trailer that came out to you. I'm very excited about this game, and yeah, that probably shows. I'm just doing a ton of videos on it. You guys are enjoying it. We're just all having fun together. At this point, actually, we have done more Paper Mario Color Splash videos than we have Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild videos at this point. So I thought that may change in the future, but this is still totally insane. I mean, Breath of the Wild is widely regarded, gonna be one of the best games of maybe all time, definitely of the Zelda series. It's so wild, it's so wildly popular at this moment, but still, Paper Mario Color Splash seems to be the only thing that we're talking about here, because that game is close to being released. That game is, it's also a bit divisive, right? People are kind of split. So yeah, there is a following for this game, but sadly, it's kind of split in two. I am here to defend what Paper Mario Color Splash is inherently, creatively, stylistically, the creative choices that the designers took, and the way that it builds the franchise of Paper Mario forward. I'm defending this, you guys. This is a blocked content piece called In Defense of Paper Mario Color Splash. Okay, so first off, yes, I do know what we see in the trailers and what we know that the game will end up being isn't a sequel to the Thousand Year Door game. Everyone loved that game, but to a lot of fans, this game, Color Splash, the game feels like a sequel to Sticker Star, the 3DS Paper Mario game that was butchered by reviewers for kind of, dumbing down the franchise, both in, the way the game works, the mechanics, and also how it looks, visually, like characters, different worlds. I feel actually like Color Splash is doing a little bit of those two things, of the two games, because it's expanding upon the ideas that worked really well in Sticker Star, but also fixing some of the ideas that did not work in that game that well. Some of the combat stuff, some of the visual aspects, some of the world building, and it is, taking that game as its base design. It is taking, Sticker Star as kind of building upon that mechanic, and that's just abundantly clear at this point. But what it also is doing is it's making that adventure a lot more diverse. It's making it more thrilling. It's making it more beautiful. Even in the graphical capacity. Wow, I mean, it's interesting to note that Color Splash, at this point, is by far the best-looking Paper Mario game ever, graphically. The paper look and feel of the game is unrivaled. I've seen games like, Little Big Planet do this, but this game is just bringing it to a whole new level. It feels just unrivaled, and it looks extremely well put together. The more unique, cartoony charm of the first two games in the series is kind of gone at this point. The original characters and the wacky locations, now they kind of traded for more of a realistic paper feel and some generic Mario stuff, which is not that bad. I come to defend that fact as well. I think bringing back the series to a lot of its roots are there to give, younger gamers that are new an idea of what Paper Mario and the Paper Mario franchise is without throwing them into a new world immediately. I kind of feel like Nintendo is slowly but surely paving the way to go back to something like a Thousand Year Door style game. This was, of course, the second game in the Paper Mario series coming out for the GameCube, and it's universally loved by fans. It's one of the best, RPGs ever, simple in its mechanics, awesome in its charm, and just great in general polish. But right now, at this moment, it needed this soft kind of reboot, a soft reboot of sorts to reconnect with an audience that might not have enjoyed it and felt left out. It looks more generic to some, the simple Toad designs, the simple world choices, a desert level, a winter level, what have you. And yes, there is some truth in that. I do see that too. But look at what Color Splash is doing, that is with the worlds. There is so much unique stuff in there. If you just look at the trailers, just look them up, and you'll see the world building is actually quite amazing. You wouldn't believe what they have now. A foggy forest with a creepy circus tent in the middle, something like an archaeology site, a tropical beach festival, a purple sea skull cave, a hotel level. It goes on and on. These are locations that for some of them we've never even seen them in a Mario game. Things like a beach level or a hotel level, we've seen those kinds of things even combined into one in Mario Sunshine, but never on this level, never on this specific scale. And those levels are some of the best things in the game, and they're treating that so right. The battle system of this game is getting criticized, I think, the most, and I do understand why. It kind of feels like the game is holding your hand. The card system is extremely slow, also was the sticker system, and there is some good stuff in there, but it doesn't feel like party members did. Party members were, of course, the people you meet along the way in the story in the previous Paper Mario games, like sort of enemies that kind of looked like your friends, Goombas wearing hats, and a pink Babam, stuff like that, and they would just join you along the way, and you could choose those party members at any moment to help you maybe blow up a wall, give you information on enemies, cross spikes that you couldn't normally, and that kind of felt like you were on this adventure meeting new friends. That element is gone. I do understand why people think that is a big hit that the Paper Mario franchise is taking, and I do feel the same. It's a bit dull and boring at this moment. The battles feel slower and less exciting that moment. But I just want to say, look at what they're doing with enemy designs. Unique matchups that we haven't seen before. Things like, what they're doing in Super Mario Maker, stacking enemies, Buzzy Beetles and things like Shy Guys with spike hats. Bringing back old and beloved enemies for the first time ever in decades with Dino Rhino. We've seen that actually in the last trailer. A character from the Super Mario World franchise that just hasn't come back since. So they do have a keen eye for bringing back things that we love, just sometimes not the things that we love about this franchise, but just about the Mario, mythos in a whole. And of course, best of all, they're bringing back the Koopalings as bosses. This, I think, is really amazing. Some people are getting tired of the Koopalings, them being in Mario Kart, them being in Super Smash Bros., them being the bosses in the new Super Mario Bros. Games, but I think that they fit this universe well. They fit, so well with Paper Mario and its humorous tone, it's ridiculous, because every Koopaling has its unique personality that can translate really well into their boss battle and their moves, and I love that fact. They're simply doing great stuff here, and we would have loved it if the Koopalings were in the 1,000-Year Door. You can just go ahead and admit that, because those guys would have fit perfectly in that game, and, even in games like Super Mario RPG for the SNES. These characters just fit with this world, and they've done a great job, pulling them in there and even giving them places where they feel like they're at home, even Lemmy being in a circus tent, stuff like that just fits really well. And the fact that Bowser is back too, but talking, and in somewhat of an original scenario with, being Bowser Black and maybe being corrupted or something, that has happened before, but in Sticker Star, he was just there, he didn't really talk and do anything. And I think that's somewhat of an original scenario in the fact that Nintendo is actually listening to the fans. You can just see that with how they treat Bowser now. And I talked a little bit about humor before, and that's because basically that's the biggest thing this game has got going for it. The tone is so on point, and I think the jokes are sometimes subtly adult and sometimes childishly funny. In the way that Nintendo is really balancing the way that they know an older audience is still playing these games, so it has to be kind of tongue-in-cheek at some point with the word jokes, with play on words, but also they know that new, kids are playing this game, and it still needs to be funny and have this sort of, childlike feeling to the game. And I think they're handling both those things. They're balancing it quite well. We don't really want an adult Mario game. We just want a Mario game that kind of winks at us and says, we know this thing. We know that it's kind of weird that Peach gets kidnapped all the time, and this is us making fun of it. That's cool. I kind of wish that they, acknowledged the fact and didn't kidnap Princess Peach. That would make the joke a lot funnier, I think. But I can understand why they do these things. It needs to be soft rebooted, and I think that Nintendo is doing that well. Nintendo's localization team has done a great job making the dialogue funny while still feeling like a Mario RPG. And I think that in a lot of respects, I think the dialogue overall might be better in its tone than that of A 1,000-Year Door and the first Paper Mario. If you look it back, there are jokes in there, there is funny dialogue, actually some dramatic story arcs as well, but in this game, humor is hitting it out of the park, and that's such a big staple for the series too, and I'm very happy that, of all those things that are doing wrong, this is one of the things that they're doing really right, and, building upon that in the future, if the humor stays this way or, maybe even evolves upon this point, I think we'd have a really amazing growth for the series on our hands. And also, I just like to say that the way Color Splash is structured also feels more like the hub world like structure of the original 2 games. Just look at, the starting world where Mario comes in with a boat. It's Prism Island. Or maybe the Colosseum stage that we've seen, the Yellow Colosseum. We've seen this in one of the trailers too of the Yellow Toads. Compare that to anything that happened in Sticker Star and you'll definitely come up short, because those stages all feel generic, all feel too simple, all feel, the same winter world we've always seen, the same grassy plains we've always seen. Nintendo, I feel, is slowly building towards truly, regaining grip of the Paper Mario series. This is a big step in the right direction. It is not a game that will rival the 2 games in the main series, that being Paper Mario 64 and also Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door for the GameCube, but it is jumping ahead so much from the failure that was Sticker Star that, we have to be behind this game. We have to be behind what this game is representing, I think. Color Splash is also doing a lot of original ideas. Things like, the paint mechanic, the paint hammer, and all of those cool special moves that they have in the game. They look graphically really amazing and sometimes even funny as well, and I think that these additions all make an okay concept pretty good. I know that it's not the quality that we expect, this game. I think that there's a lot missing still. I think there's a lot that they could do with character charm and with a bigger hub world and, not doing the simple, level structure of a Mario game, but having, a real, connected world together. But they're doing original things. The paint hammer is really cool, and it's not kind of the quality that we expect, but this game deserves to shine in the light just a little bit. I mean, look at the Rescue V Squad trailers that we've been covering. These trailers with all those different toads, these different colored toads with outfits and their own personalities. That's what you wanted, right? Well, they're doing that amazingly. I mean, those trailers have their own unique tone to them. They're funny. They're a way that Nintendo is marketing a game that we've never really seen before. They're doing it very aggressively with Pokemon Sun and Moon at this point too. Just having many trailers out, giving people so many looks at the game and not kind of holding things back, but giving people something to talk about. And with a game like Paper Mario Color Splash, yeah, that can happen. I would really love it if Nintendo would continue to do that for more games. It's almost kind of like they did with Super Smash Bros. In the way that they had daily content. For now, we have weekly content that is coming. For Nintendo, for, the mainline Mario games, the Paper Mario series, that is a really big step. Normally, we just see a trailer before release, and that'd be it. But right now, Nintendo is listening to us. Nintendo is agreeing that we want more. And I really like that. The different toads, the different trailers, the different personalities in there. They're doing a great job with that. And I think that we should, accept the fact that Nintendo is maybe moving towards regaining that trust of us. And it's not quite there yet, but we're nearing in on something like that. And Nintendo is in fact listening to you. And I hope that you guys are looking forward to playing the game closer to the originals than you might expect, because I think that it's time to give this game a chance. And we will do the same here at Blocked Content, because when it's time to officially review Paper Mario Color Splash, we will do so without looking back at previous games in the series. I've thought about this for a long time, but we'll do this to see if the game can stand on its own feet and not feel unneeded in the franchise. Because I think it deserves its own chance to shine. It's a new concept, a new game, something that still feels like it belongs in the franchise, but it's kind of soft rebooting a few things. It's not acknowledging that it had a past before with a different wings or something. It's just something new and something that can build forward. What if this was the Paper Mario 64 and that there is still a Thousand Year Door style game coming after this, maybe for the Nintendo NX? And that's why I think you guys need to give it a chance, because it's going in the right direction. If we buy this game, if we support this game, that means we support the growth of the Paper Mario franchise, because there is a small chance that if we do not support this game, and if no one buys this game, then Nintendo might declare the Paper Mario series dead, and they won't make any games for this franchise anymore. All those cool ideas that we have, all those awesome memories that we have with the game, they will be gone forever. And I think it's just too big of a waste to just let that go. So I think we need to support the Paper Mario franchise. I think this game is heading in the right direction. I'm all for it, you know? I'm thrilled that this game is coming, and I bet that you guys can notice that in me. But, you know, I just want to know what your thoughts are on Paper Mario Color Splash. I want you to leave a comment and tell me, are you scared, or do you think that it will stand the test of time with its, you know, world building and graphical fidelity and crazy good humor? Leave it in the comments, because I'm all in for some color splashing. This was blocked content in defense of Paper Mario Color Splash. Please hit that subscribe button and keep up to date with all the Nintendo news that you can handle. For now, leave a comment what you think should happen with the Paper Mario franchise, because I'd love to read what you guys do if you were in charge. For now, let's wait until it comes out so we can finally play it. And remember, we do have a Super Mario Maker challenge going around, so if you want to win a very cool Super Mario Maker goodie, these are actually magnets for maybe on your fridge to build your own levels. Just leave a comment why you are awesome and why you should deserve these things. And also, please subscribe to the channel, and you know, we pick a winner at random. So after we hit 1,000 subscribers, we will do that. Maybe at this point you'll see this video, we have a lot more subscribers than 1,000. I would wish that would be the case. So let's all work together and make these videos noticeable. Let's talk about these games and leave a comment so that we can discuss it together. Yeah, until next time, see you guys.